Paltrocast.
Chris, aside from doing press where you're answering the same questions over and over and over again, how's your day going so far?
Fabulous. Fabulous. Just back after the Memorial Day weekend. I dropped my son off at school and I get to talk about this awesome project. So I'm having a good one.
Well, before I ask you about this wonderful new film, is that a Lemmy from Motorhead poster behind you?
Know it. Can you?
Wow. Okay. And Van Halen. This guy over here is writing a book about David Lee Roth that comes out in January. I'll send you a copy.
Amazing. Will you please?
But let's talk about your new film. Not only are you on camera, you produced the damn thing. Do you know that you wanted to produce it when you saw the script initially?
No, the producing was a way to perform. So basically Sam is a writer and an actor. Daniel is a writer and a director. I'm an actor. But sometimes, the only way that we could find a way to make this project happen was to all become producers. So we didn't necessarily want to produce it, but we had to if we wanted to get it done.
Like the old adage, if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person. Hence, I'm talking to a busy person at Chris Stack.
I mean, I certainly was in 2021, and I definitely have my moments. But yeah, we have the hats that we chose to kind of study when we were idealistic artists, and then we realized we need to learn a little about the business angle too, in order to be artists, especially in this country.
Totally. Now, you said 2021. In digging around about the film, award-winning film on the festival circuit, and one of the awards that I saw said 2021. I think it was cinematography. It was some award that it won at a prestigious festival. When was this film actually finished?
Actually finished. And I think there are degrees of finished. You know what I mean? We filmed it in June of 2021. I think there was a rough cut by the early fall of 2021. We had a version that's basically a picture lock by the Seattle Film Festival, which was April of 2022. And then since then, we've done a sound remix, and that's pretty much all. But that was done, let's see, in what is it now? It's June. Oh, it's almost June. So that was probably done in April of 2023. So finished April of 2023, but it premiered in April of 2022 in Seattle.
Did you say Rough Cut at me because you knew I was a hard rock fan and you wanted to talk about the hard rock band Rough Cut, or just Iron?
I did not. I don't know Rough Cut. I mean, if you want to talk about David Lee Roth for 5 minutes, though, I'll do that.
The next interview I get you on, we will talk about Roth for 25 minutes.
Let's do it. Let's go for it. Let's just FaceTime over the weekend and hang out and talk about Diamond Dave.
Diamond Dave's dance videos at the moment are just a head scratch. Have you been watching these dance videos?
No, I don't know anything about them.
When you end this interview,
yeah,
look up Roth's dance videos and we'll have a long chat.
My God, yes, absolutely.
I'd have to imagine, though, this is one of the more challenging projects for you, because not only do you have to do the character work as Ian, but producing the darn thing. So in other words, on the camera and behind the camera, it's tough to know cut and then turn off when you have to deal with the logistics of the whole thing.
Right. Well, there's where my relationship with Sam and Daniel and Lovell and Addie, my co-producers, comes in super handy, in that they took on all of the producing roles once we got to actually film. So I never looked at dailies. I never. There were a couple of times when I said, let me do another take. But usually if it was good for them, it was good for me. I mean, we've known each other for years. We trust each other implicitly. And so I was able to just 100% be an actor once we started shooting, which was so hugely helpful.
That trust thing is a rarity in the film world. So glad you got to experience that. And wrapping things up in a way. So it's a new film for us, the general public. It's an old film for you in the sense that, yes, it was done in increments, but you've been working on it for years. Are you allowed to say what's next for you, where we can look for you next? Because, hey, we saw you on an interview with the vampire, the soap people are always tracking you, etc. So you're working. It's just a question of, are we allowed to know what you're working on?
You're definitely allowed, and once I know, I'll tell you.
I thought you were going to play off the, well, the Hollywood Reporter says.
Yeah, no, definitely not. There are no secrets here. There's nothing nothing I would have to make you sign an NDA about. I'm kind of, my name is being tossed around for a few projects, both in film and theater in New York, but nothing for sure yet. Right now, I've got my son's 4th birthday is coming up on Friday, and then we've got then my birthday is coming up after that. So I'm just kind of, I'm being a dad and a husband for the next couple of weeks, and I can never quite see farther than the next couple of weeks. But when we talk about David Lee Roth, I'll let you know what's next. Hopefully I'll know something by then.
Well, David Lee Roth question for you. Have you ever heard the Sonrisa Salvaje album?
Absolutely. I actually had a T-shirt. I had a T-shirt that was it was the Eat 'em and Smile cover, but with the Spanish, and I lost it somewhere in the mix. And there are two articles of clothing in my life that I miss, and that's one of them.
So, in terms of actors who love Diamond Dave,
yeah.
You might take the #1 spot, but do you know how obsessed Joseph Sikora from Power Book Ghost is?
I do not.
Well, if you can get a message to him or figure out how to get to him, he literally, what are you listening to on Twitter? He put a Sonrisa Salvaje track.
Amazing. Which track?
I think it was a Loco del Color.
Yeah. Crazy from the or going crazy.
Well, hey, Chris Stack, I mean, 2 quick questions, then I'll let you go. The first one is, has anyone ever gotten your name wrong at a Starbucks? Because don't you have the easiest 2-syllable name professionally?
You would think so. I mean, Chris is definitely pretty solid. Nobody's ever screwed that one up. When I was growing up, I got a lot of Starks, and I actually remember answering the phone once and somebody asking for a Chris Stasek, as if I were maybe Eastern European. But that's it. Not that bad.
Well, as long as the SAG or after checks come to the right place, then
exactly. You can say my name however you want.
And then last question I have for you. Besides this new film, do you have a recommendation for a show that people should be watching? Because every time the wife and I start a new show, we kill it in a week and we go, what's next? So you ask the quality people who put the work into the craft, what's good?
Right. Wow. I mean, my wife and I just finished Succession last night, but that's no revelation. I think everybody's saying that. There's
we haven't.
Oh, you haven't? Oh,
No.
well, there you go. So have you watched the first several seasons?
No, the closest I can come is interviewing Alan Ruck on a junket and him not being happy to speak with me. I mean,
oh no, come on, Alan.
No, he was there to shill for, I think, a car company or something like that. And
all right. Well, honestly, I mean, it's a kind of show where everybody is so distasteful and so despicable, but in such a completely human way that I can't look away. It was, I think last night was the finale, or Sunday night was the finale of 3 or 4 seasons, and it's really good, really compelling.
Okay, that is going on our list next. Chris,
awesome.
Thank you for the years of great art.
Thanks so much, Darren. I appreciate it. You're kind to say so.
Paltrocast.